Right. I say tap in, tap in. I say pull up, pull up. I say
Paving this shit crank.
all right. Welcome to the Whatever Podcast. We have a special host, NBA great, 1994 NBA All-Star. The man was Gatorade Player of the Year in high school. Welcome to Mr. Kenny Anderson.
Yo, thank you, man. Thanks for having me on, man. I love it, man. Love it.
Yes, sir. Before we get started, I want to hit them with some of your best plays, some of the highlights, just in case they forgot.
Change. We played Shelly, Walker-Zellies with the gold frames, and hug the block like four Pirellis and both flames. I'm old-fashioned, I still be smashing my whole flame. But nowadays we pack heat, it's a cold game. But nowadays we pack heat, it's a cold game. But nowadays we pack heat, it's a cold game. It's a cold game.
Slow the Don Dillinger. 30-second game capo, y'all niggas know what it is, man. Catch me live at the barbecue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh boy.
Change. We play.
Okay. So I'm from Toledo, Ohio. Big fan growing up. We had to go for teams in the area. So New Jersey came to Detroit a lot. So I always watched you. NBA Jam, you and Derek Coleman. But I wanted to start with your background from Queens. If I'm correct, you grew up with NBA players was in your neighborhood growing up.
Well, you know, and in New York, it's all over the place. Chris Mullin. Chris Mullin is from Brooklyn. He was a great player. Rod Strickland, Mark Jackson, Kenny Smith, Pearl Washington. Those are the guys I looked up to. Kenny Patterson. Those are the guys I looked up to, and I just happened to make it, and it was just awesome, man. Just being a fan. I was a fan of those guys first, and I just, I watched them guys grow, and I just took advantage, of knowing those guys, and I worked on my game extremely hard to get my mother out of the gutter, and it was a blessing, man. It was a blessing.
Yes,
But you from Toledo, I got a good guy that I coach now down here at Fisk University in Nashville. Derek Rayford Jr. he's from Toledo, and
yes.
he's one of my point guards this year. I hope I can get him going, and it's just great. It's great.
I'm familiar with his parents. I think he went to the same high school as me. I went to Rogers Rams.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. I hooped myself. I didn't quite get there. I tried out for University of Cincinnati. I walked on. Nobody made the team. I tried my thing, but I wanted to know about steel sharpen steel. That it seems like that helped give you the odds going into college. You were one of the highest recruits. They were recruiting you higher than Shaq and Jim Jackson.
Yeah.
So was that a part of it? Like you said, growing up with the players like that.
Yeah, I grew up watching those guys, but I was the number one player in the country. Being from Archbishop Malloy High School, Jack Curran, one of my dearest coaches, and rest in peace. He passed away. And my mentor, Vincent Smith, they paved the way for me. They told me what I had to do to make it, and I listened. I worked extremely hard. Not only on the basketball court, but in the classroom also. I went to Archbishop Malloy High School, which is it's one of the best high schools in America. I'm not in America. It's tough academic school, and I passed and I got through with it. And it was awesome, man. Oh, it was awesome playing with some of the greats. players that I played with at Malloy. Most of those guys didn't make the NBA, but they was great college players, and they was just great people in general.
Wow. Yes, sir. That matters off the court
Yeah.
too. So I have it's a story of 3 degrees of separation. So my cousin Dion Valentine, he played for Matt Cumber, Toledo Matt Cumber. They played against you guys in the Myrtle Beach Classic.
Yeah.
His teammate was Jim Jackson. He said you laid 40 on him.
Yeah, I got, that was great, man. Playing against Jim Jackson, he was a great player. Macomb Whitney High School he went to, and they had a great team, but I just showed out. I showed out. The Beach Ball Classic was awesome, and it's something I would always remember. I would always remember, because I won it. My high school, we won it 3 years in a row. 3 years. Every time I went there, we won the tournament, and it was just great. That reminds me, how does it feel? You were the all-time leader scorer of New York. You broke Lou Alcindor's record that Shabazz and Telfair ended up breaking it, but you was a walking bucket. Like, how much it was just putting in that work on. Yeah, records are meant to be broken. I had it for a long time. It was when I broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar record, it was awesome, man. But I knew, it was going to come a time where my record was going to be broken. Sebastian Telfair broke my record, and it was awesome, man. I had it for a long period of time, but it had to be broken. That's still, but it's the person who when you broke it, that just says a lot in itself. Yeah, so, it definitely do. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the best player ever, probably, at each level, high school, college, and pro. He's the best, man. Yes, I agree. He champion at every level. Yeah. I'm an 80s baby, born in 87. A lot of my friends there is Jordan or LeBron. But I'm with you. I respect my elders. I wanted to ask, now going into college, what made you pick Georgia Tech over Duke and North Carolina? My mother, we went on our visit. I was going to pick Syracuse. I wanted to go to Syracuse because of Pearl Washington was a great, and somebody I looked up to. But my mother went on my visit to Georgia Tech, and she, Bobby Crimmins, she was so stuck on Bobby Crimmins, on how he ran his program and everything. And then Atlanta was a great city. And I'm so glad that I listened to my mother. My mother made me go to Georgia Tech. Yes, sir. I understand. Mom knows best. Because now you at Georgia Tech, and you end up, I believe so, in March Madness, you beat Duke, you beat Shaq's LSU. Jim Jackson kind of come back around, and the second year, I think you guys lost to O State. But your March Madness saga was just something that made you the number 2 pick, basically. Can you talk to us about that? Yeah, it was great. My freshman year, I did everything, man. It was awesome playing with Lethal Weapon 3, Dennis Scott, Brian Oliver, and Malcolm Mackey was there, Johnny McNeil, Carl Brown. My first year was awesome at Georgia Tech. Then my second year, we had a big team. Matt Gagger, Malcolm Mackey. We had a great team. John Barry, but we just didn't have the right chemistry. I thought the chemistry, and we lost to Ohio State. I don't know what the second round, because we beat DePaul. They had Booth, the player Booth. He was great. And then we lost to Ohio State. That was my last college game. I really remember that one. And it was just awesome playing, 2 years at Georgia Tech. I learned a lot playing with Georgia Tech, and just everything, man. Just living down in Atlanta and playing for Coach Crimmins. We had a great team. My freshman year when we went to the Final Four, they were just awesome, man. Dennis Scott, Brian Oliver, Coach Crimmins, Cantwell. Sherman Dillard is now at Iowa. He's coaching over there. So it just was great, man.
Your jersey and the Raptors, right? They got to have your jerseys on.
No, they don't have my jersey in the rafters in Georgia Tech because you have to graduate. I graduated from St. Thomas University, 2010. I graduated, got my degree, and now I'm coaching at Fisk University, which is awesome. But you had to graduate, and I don't know if they had. They say you have to graduate from Georgia Tech, but I don't know. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just love playing at Georgia Tech, and it is what it is, man.
When we speak of Georgia Tech, you are one of the first names we think of. So it's like the ring of honor. The fans is what's most important. So we remember you, Georgia Tech, and be like Kenny Anderson. So it's phenomenal.
Thank you.
So number 2 pick of the draft. How does that feel? Like so many kids dream of that.
Yeah, that's not going nowhere. That's forever. You know what I mean? I was the number 2 pick. It was awesome playing for New Jersey Nets, playing with Derek Coleman, Drazen Petrovic. Willis Reed was the general manager at the time. It was just awesome going back to Jersey, not far from where I lived, about an hour and a half from where I grew up, Left Rack City. And I loved it, man. I loved it.
You beat me to it. I was gonna ask, like, the general manager, Willis Reed, and then Chuck Daly, the coach. Then you got Derek Coleman. You played with Petro, so it's like that. If it was just the Jordan era, basically, that's the only reason they don't know y'all was some bad boys.
Yeah, we was pretty good, man. But like you said, we played in the Jordan era, and it was pretty tough beating Chicago Bulls. They had Scottie Pippen. They just had with Jordan. They had Dennis Rodman. It was just an awesome time playing in the NBA at that time.
Yes, sir. And most don't know you averaged 20 and 10 the 94 season. You in your prime, you really was always around 20 and 10.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be when the All-Star nod, the people you were around? I believe it was Shaq on the team morning. You was just around. That could have been a dream team right there. So.
Yeah, it was great, man, making an All-Star team my first year. And I made an All-Star wherever I played. See, basketball was easy, life is hard. And that's the theme of my documentary, MrChibbs. It was just awesome, man. I played with many greats in the NBA, and it was just awesome. I can't really fathom it. It was just a great thing.
Yes, sir. I want to you mentioned the doc. I wanted to tell my viewers about the documentary MrChibbs and what made you do it, and also how did you get the nickname MrChibbs?
Yeah. Well, that's my mother named me that name, Chibbs, Chibbs, Chibbs. She named me that when I was when I was born. For 4 days, when I was 4 days old, it came out. She said cheeks. And then she said Chibbs. And I thought my name was Chibbs in kindergarten. I didn't know. And she said, boy, that's Kenneth, that's your name. And I just, I knew my name was Kenneth, back then. But MrChibbs is awesome. In Left Rack City, they called me Chibbs. Everybody in New York, everywhere I go, Chibbs is really big to me, man. That's my name. My mother passed away in 2005, and I love hearing that name, Chibbs. I love hearing it.
Just bring that spark back.
Yep. But it was awesome, man, and I had my documentary. Like you said, my documentary is out, and MrChibbs. She used to call me MrChibbs, but so I named my documentary MrChibbs, and it's just my whole life. Jill Campbell did an awesome job directing it. And, it was out. It's been out about 4 years now, 5 years, just telling the real story of everything I had to go through to make it.
Yes, sir. And I love that quote. The game is hard. Game is easy. Life is hard. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, that's my slogan. You gotta watch my documentary, man. You
I
gotta
do.
watch it. You know, it was awesome documentary, and you'll get the real gist on, who I am,
Yes,
who I
sir.
am in life.
I definitely will. And also, you touched on coaching. What's some of your goals for Fisk and some of your marquee players? You did mention one, so just give them a little shout out if you can.
My guy Derek Rayford Jr. He's from over there in Toledo. He's a great player, but I'm trying to get him right. He'd be fine. Barron from New York. I got so many guys that's gonna do well. Malik, he's doing well for me, but Fish, we gotta build the basketball program up. I'm here at Fish University in Nashville, the great HBCU, and we're trying to build up the basketball program. I've been here for 2.5 years, and we're trying to make. I'm trying to make a difference, and
Yes.
I will in time.
I salute you for being at a HBCU.
Yeah.
I'm a frat. I'm an Iota Phi Theta.
Okay.
So I push HBCU myself. I wish more athletes would do the same. So now, before we let you go, I just wanted to get a little basketball talk, little barbershop talk, just comparing eras. Since you was a walking bucket 20 and 10 in the 90s. Lately, Shaq said he would get 60 in this era. What you think you averaging?
I would get high. I would be like 25, 12. This era is a little bit different. This era is basketball era. It was great. Don't get me wrong, but it's more on the 3-point shot, and they let a lot get away with. It's not as rougher when we played in the league. It's a lot easier, but they got to make it fan friendly. And that's what they're doing. And the lead is awesome. I love watching the games and all of that, but it's a little fan friendly. It's different than when we were played in the 90s. It's much different.
I agree. Being an 80s baby, I was raised to play your style of game, but I graduated high school 2005. Out of nowhere, the game changed, and now I'm a 6'1". They have me small forward. In high school, next thing you know, I'm supposed to be a point guard again.
Yeah,
so I'm a hybrid in the eras. So I believe you. I think you are the prototype for the players like Dame Lillard.
Oh no, I love my teams. I played for Portland, played for New Jersey Nets, Brooklyn Nets now, and Boston Celtics. Those are the 3 teams I give much love to. I love Damian Lillard. He's a great player. And what he does so well is shoot the ball from far distance. He's a great shooter, and he makes it happen for Portland Trail. And I'm pissed off. He should be starting in the AllStar game, and he's coming off the bench. I don't understand that.
Yes, he got more wins than the Warriors. And Steph had a few bad games where he went to sleep, but
if I had to guess, just start Steph Curry and Damian Lillard. Just start them.
Both, yes, sir. I agree. Right now, I'm believing between Steph, Dame, and Kyrie, them three is just a monster at the position.
Yeah, those are the 3 top point guards in the league. Period, hands down. And you can put them in order you like. But I like Damian Lillard because he played for Portland. But I'm also gonna give my man Kemba Walker some love because he's from New York, Boston Celtics. He's from New York. Kemba Walker is a great player. Believe that.
He might be the most underrated player in the game, him and Bradley Beal. So before I let you go, this is my only segment. Your top 5. You can say your top 5 players, your top 5 players that influence you, however you want to spin it.
The top 5 players, my era was Michael Jordan.
Yes, sir.
Is number 1. Scottie Pippen. I love his game. He's awesome. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And I'm going to go back. I'm going to give Tiny Archibald from New York City some love. You know what I mean? And James Worthy. I love his game. James Worthy. A worthy one. I love James Worthy game. You can't. It's a lot of great players, and you can't put them all in You can't put you can just say who you like as a player.
Yes,
That's
sir.
it. It's just so many great players in the world.
I understand. People look at me crazy as a kid. My favorite player was B.J. Armstrong. He made the All-Star team with you.
Yeah. B.J. Armstrong is a great player. But that's who you love. That's it.
I wore number 10 because of B.J. So it's like
awesome, man. B.J. was a great player, man. Great.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you once again. The legend Kenny Anderson came through to whatever podcast to chop it up with us. So I well wishes to you and Fisk University. Thank
you, man. Thank you, man. I love it, man. Thank you. And keep doing your thing, man. God bless you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.